Hello and welcome to Florida Education News. My name is Dr. Tony Arza. Today I'm sitting down with Dr. John Legg, Superintendent of Pasco County Public Schools. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
No. Happy to have you. So, kids are already back in school.
Yeah.
The year's off to a strong start here in Pasco County. What can you tell residents in the community who are interested in understanding what makes this year different in Pasco County? This will be a new year here in Pasco. So what is it that you guys are trying to accomplish for the residents here?
Well, thank you. We are laser focused on student achievement. That's our number one goal, is how do we help and empower our students to achieve their God-given talents, to achieve academic excellence. And we're off to a strong start. We are laser focused on student achievement in every classroom, K through 12. And how we're doing that is we're focusing on the basics. We're focusing on the basics and ensuring that they master the basics. I use this analogy a lot. It's like when you're building a 12-story house. You can't build on the 12th story if you don't have the first story and the second story down solid. And so we're working on those fundamental basics so they can master those so we can reach to new heights here in Pasco.
Yeah, and talking about student achievement, accountability is a big part of how you measure a school's success. So can you kind of share a little bit? A lot of residents don't really understand Florida's accountability system. Could you kind of help us understand where is Pasco and how are things trending? I know you guys had one school that hadn't been a B for 15 years, I think. Cox Elementary, you guys were able to turn that around. Could you kind of share a little bit of the stuff that you guys have accomplished?
Yeah, so right now, currently Pasco County, as we move in, we are right in the middle. We are in the middle. And like most districts, we have some high achieving districts or schools, and we have some kind of low achieving, struggling schools. We're focusing on both, but the low achieving schools, we call them opportunity schools. And the reason why we call them opportunity schools is because there's great opportunity there to make growth. There's great opportunity for those students to learn and to turn things around in that particular school. So we've been focusing on our opportunity schools. We have 9 opportunity schools here in Pasco County, and we have already seen huge improvements in those schools. How are we doing that? We're focusing on the basics and we're removing distractions. Distractions are a big thing. Everything from behavior to issues going on in the classroom to issues going on around the community that come inside the community. We want that school to be an oasis of learning, and so that's what we're focusing on, and we're having great success. But we don't stop there. Just because you're not an opportunity school, you're a kind of a traditional type of environment, we want our students to excel, and we're pushing them to achieve higher and higher. Just because you're doing well doesn't mean there's something greater that you can achieve. So we're looking at those academic opportunities to push our students even further.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned that you guys have some grants going on. A lot of people don't realize that so there are ways to fund the things you're doing here with not just taxpayer dollars. So you're bringing in money you have a grant going on with Advent or some?
Yes. So we're real excited to announce that we are partnering with multiple stakeholders, but Advent Healthcare Systems and some philanthropy dollars have come in with some significant dollars to create healthcare pathways, and I'm really passionate about this. What this is it's creating pathways to employments in the medical field while they're in high school, where they're actually getting career and technical education. I call it career-connected learning, apprenticeships while they're in high school to earn high-paying jobs on exiting high school. Not just being a doctor or a nurse, but whether it's a radiologist, whether it's in the laboratory aspect of the hospitals. Right now, we're showing huge needs. Advent Healthcare, just in their system alone, has shown that they need over 30,000 employees by the year 2030. We want to be their number one supply chain in order to fulfill those jobs. One, it's good for our business and our community, but it's really good for our students and our economy because it allows them to get meaningful jobs with meaningful pay right out of high school.
No, and that's extremely innovative. I mean, after conversations we've had throughout the state, there are a lot of superintendents that aren't doing things like this. And it brings me back to something that I saw recently. One of the number one concerns for Florida residents in recent polling shows that it's the economy, it's property taxes, property insurance. And obviously it seems like you guys are trying to make sure that taxpayers can trust you with their hard-earned dollars, and you're coming up with strategic solutions. Can you kind of share for those that maybe question, why should we continue to invest in education? And you, as a former state legislator, you understand the decisions that are made up there, and that at the end of the day, it's an investment we're making. Why should the residents in this community trust you with their hard-earned taxpayer dollars
That's a great question. It is the seeds of the future. And as we all know that without a high quality education, the economic opportunity for the next generation is limited. We are laser focused on that high academic quality because that's what's going to open up the gateway to success. You know, one of the things that I say oftentimes is that every child is intended for a 4-year university, but every child is intended for some post-high school training that results in real jobs. And what we're trying to do is create some of those post-high school trainings in high school, so that way they have that pathway to those real jobs that are meaningful employment. You know, the service industry is great, but however, you can only live so long in some of the service industry income. So we're trying to get some of the more manufacturing, the healthcare, some of the professionals that may not require a 4-year university, but they can get real employment. Now, if they want to go to a 4-year university, we support that. But if they want to go into the workforce, we want to provide that training for them to go and get meaningful pays right out of high school.
No, and I mean, that's super critical because the whole economy runs based off having people that can enter into the workforce. So, you know, as just kind of a last question, is there anything that you think the residents in this community should know about the things that Pasco County Public Schools is trying to do for them?
What we are trying to do is to create a highly educated, critical thinking, problem-solving, work ethic next generation of residents in our community. Because what we want them to do is not just be smarter, not just work harder, but we want them to be good people that contribute into our community. I was born and raised in this community, and it's one of those things that we want to reinvest our local kids to come back into our community and make our community a better place.
Well, look, thank you so much for sitting down with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're very excited about the things you're doing for Pasco County.
Well, thank you.